Mhm.
Okay, so our client is requesting one of these four hairstyles. It's basically, it's pretty similar between each other. So we're gonna try to recreate something like this. I don't know if you can see pretty well. So the difference between this one and this one is that you see how much hair she took here to do the twist curls, and you see how fine curls are here. So yeah, basically we're gonna try to recreate something like this, pretty much. I don't know if you can see it well. And so that's pretty much it. And what I'm gonna show you now is what I'm gonna be using for that hairstyle. First, bobby pins. The bobby pins that I'm gonna be using is this ones, just a regular bobby pins, like this, and this guys, which like I can live without this guys. Where you can find these ones are in Sally's. I haven't seen these ones in Cosmocraft. If you're licensed, you can buy bobby pins in Cosmocraft, but I normally get them in Sally's because that's where I only have seen this type of bobby pins. So, and I'm gonna be using a bun because she wants a lot of volume, and I need something to hold the curls when I'm putting it up. Just a roller bun. I try to match it with their hair color. I wouldn't do, unless it's like really necessary, do a black bun to blonde hair. So this is round. That goes pretty much with this one. So hairsprays. The hairsprays I'm going to be using is the 28 Control Addict from Redken. I don't know if you can see. And Fashion Work 12, number 12 from Redken as well. This is a pretty light hairspray, which I like to use while I'm doing updos, and this is a very strong one. This is for the finished product, like at the end, at the very end of everything. This is the one that I'm going to be using. This is like a really good strong hold, and this is pretty light, so it doesn't matter how much hairspray of the 12 I'm going to be using, you can still have movement in the hair. You can still working with the hair while you're using the Fashion Work. And in case that my client needs to have a little bit of volume and texture, I'm gonna be using this Big Sexy Hair. This is a texture powder, which I like to use in pretty much almost all of them, unless that they have perfect amount of hair, like really good volume. But pretty much I do use this with everybody. And the last thing, but first I'm gonna be using in every single style, it's a curlinator. You won't want used to really small barrel. You will want to use a really medium. It's not too big, not too small. This is the perfect size. This is like an inch. I think that's a really good size. Smaller than that is gonna be doing like a really tight curls, and bigger than that you won't be able to see the curls in the hair when you put it up. So you need to look for a really good size of barrel when you're doing this type of updo. So the first thing I'm gonna do with my client is, if you have a mirror in front of her, you will want to ask her, where does she normally part her hair? You can either like brush her hair back and push it forward a little bit, and normally when you do this, it's gonna fall in the natural part. You also want to ask her if it's okay to work with her natural part, if she's gonna feel comfortable. It's depending on the hairstyle too, because some people like to push everything back, you know. So for this type of hairstyle, we can push like this little mohawk back, but she likes to see a lot of like a little bit of wispies. So I will say leave some pieces out, not too much, not too little, something like this. So the last thing I'm gonna be working with is the front part. This is the most important part of the hairstyle, because when they're gonna look in the mirror, that's the first thing they're gonna see, the front part, and that's where it's gonna show in most of the pictures too. So they need to love it just because they're looking in the mirror, you know. So here, I'm gonna move out of the way the really front part, out of the way. I'm gonna move out of the way. The very front, because I'm not gonna be using this at all until the end. And I'm gonna start sectioning so I can have some waves in her hair. So I'm gonna move my client. Normally we move around here the day of the wedding. You're not gonna be moving her head like this, but this is a mannequin, so I'm just moving the head just to kind of like show you what am I gonna do. You don't need to do like the best curls ever. You just need to have some kind of like shape and waves to this style. You can do the curls with a flat iron too, but you need to know how to do them, because sometimes when you don't know how to do curls with a flat iron, they don't look okay. So the day of the wedding, if you've been doing hair before, if you went to cosmetology school, when you're doing color or any type of service, you know that you have to do a really good consultation with your client before you start doing something on their hair. The same thing happened with when you are doing an updo, because sometimes we have clients that they're not really confident or comfortable with, let's say, their forehead, and they want to cover a little bit, or they normally wear the hair down most of the time. So you would want to ask them how normally they wear their hair, like in the daily basis. Let me see, this is like way too hot. And it has for so depending on their answers, you need to work with their hair. Let's say they like to have, they don't want anything. Most of my clients, they ask for some hair in the front because they don't want everything pushed back. So you have to keep that in mind, because then they're gonna hate their hairstyle if they don't have those wispies or those piece of hair in the front. And basically the 80% of our clients, they like volume. They don't want everything like silk pushed back, like a tight ponytail. They don't like that. So in this hairstyle, I can show you how to achieve a really volume, like a really volume hairstyle. It's really weird that my client asked me to push everything back and they don't want to see any hair in their face. But it happens. So this is the part of the hairstyle that take more time to do. It's the curls. Sometimes you have updos that you don't even need to do the curls, but this type, yeah, you need to. That's why I love taking an assistant with me, because she can be doing between curls and then I can go back and forth and do their style. It takes me about half an hour or less than that, just depending on what they want to do. Sometimes it takes me 10 minutes to do what they want, but it's depending on how much hair they have. It's depending on what the hairstyle that they want, depending on a lot of things. Make sure that it's like focusing. because sometimes they unfocused. That's what happened with the makeup tutorial. I'm gonna start doing live videos because it's better when they have questions to do and I can like work and answer those questions, because then I stop talking because I don't feel like I have something to say, and then I shut up my mouth. So once I start reaching the top, instead doing the curls away from her face, I do the curls like I place an arrow under and then I start twisting towards me, because that way I can get the maximum volume right here on the top, which is really important. You don't need to do the curls in the same direction, because as if you do the curls everywhere, like every way, there's like if you do one towards me and one away from my face, it's totally fine, because that way the curls goes everywhere. It's hard when they have the same pattern, because then you have to work with the patterns that they have already, or you need to redo the curls again. Oops. Okay, so I got this curling iron at Cosmoprof. I've been loving it so far. I feel like I can live without it. See how tight do the curls, and they last pretty good as well. At first I bought a Babyliss flat iron, which cost me like $150, but it looks like you could do curls and flat iron at the same time, but I honestly didn't like it, so I returned it and I got this one. This one is pretty much almost $200, but it's worth it, especially if you're doing hair most of the time. It's up to you. I know I'm gonna be doing a lot of updos and working with that curling iron. Oh, the good thing is about this curling iron is that it has 4 sizes, as you can see here. This one is 1 inch. This is 3/4 of an inch. This is one, how do you say that? 31 millimeters. 1/4, 1/4, 1 1.25, something like that. Omar, I'm talking to you.
What? 1/4?
1/4?
1.25.
1.25?
Yep.
Okay, and this is 1 and 2.
1.5 quarter.
1.5. Porque este loco te quiere. So if you see, I don't use any hairspray while I'm doing curls. And I don't like to work at all with dirty hair as well. There's some stylists that say that they rather work with dirty hair because the curls hold better. For me, I don't know, it's not disgusting, but I don't like to work with oily hair. And one of the reasons it's because when your hair is oily, you know, they join together like really big pieces like that. When you try to make it really smooth and pretty, it's not gonna be worth it, because when you do this, you're gonna be seeing the separation between hair, and you're gonna be able to see the scalp, and I don't like that at all. And you're touching their hair, so you're gonna be smelling their oil and touching their oil in your hands, which is not really nice. And when you're curling their hair, it's gonna be like that oily smell and smoke that you're gonna be breathing. So yeah, I'd rather work with clean hair. So what I do normally is ask my client to wash their hair the night before, and if they can blow dry it that day, that's totally perfect. So what I basically do is, if they want to wash it the same day off, they can do that. I just need to work with clean and dry hair, because when I do a contract, I set up a timing that I'm gonna be doing their hair. So let's say that their hair is gonna take me around an hour to do, but if you sit in my chair and you have your hair soaking wet, I have to wait, blow dry your hair, which is gonna take me, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. And so I have to blow dry your hair, and by the time I start doing your updo, it's not gonna be an hour anymore, it's gonna be more. So if someone sits in your chair with wet hair or damp hair, you just need to make sure that they know that if you are going to blow dry their hair, it's gonna be I don't know if it's $20-25 fee for blow drying their hair, because you don't supposed to blow dry their hair unless it's a blow dry. You know what I mean? Like, they're not doing any style, they just want to blow dry. Okay, so if your client is asking you for a specific hairstyle, you just need to make sure that they know that it's not gonna be the exact same. They have different hair texture, they have different amount of hair, I don't know, density. I don't know if that's the right word for that. They have to know they don't have the same color. They have to know that even the same model, the same hair artist is not gonna do the exact same hairstyle. so you can tell them that you're gonna get really close to that hairstyle, and you're not the same model. They have to realize that you're not the same model. It's not your face shape or anything like that, so they have to know that part. Sometimes the hair like came out really beautiful, even better than the picture. So it's different in each one. So what I'm gonna do here, this is not gonna be touch. I'm gonna be doing here. See how pretty the curls are, and they hold pretty good. Oh, another thing that I have, I bought this in Cosmoprof. This is a product from Bridal Updo. I don't know if you heard about her. I follow her on Instagram. She do an amazing job, and this is the best idea ever. So it's a bracelet, magnetic bracelet, so you can have your bobby pins in your hand. You don't have to be reaching the bobby pins constantly. I need to get used to this because sometimes I have this and I keep reaching because I was used to doing that before. So what I need to, it's some rubber bands, which I forgot, but I have them right here. I normally use the clear ones. I don't know if you can see them. So I'm gonna be using a few of them, but it's always good having more than less. So what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm gonna pull this apart right here and push it forward. And I'm gonna grab like a little circle right here, and I'm gonna do pretty tight ponytail, because here is where the action starts. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to do a ponytail right here. You need hair around her face right here. So what I'm gonna be doing now is I'm gonna tighten it up, tighten it, and use the bun. So before I start working with anything else, I need to make sure that the bun is secure. So I'm gonna be using this guys right here, and I'm gonna place them and twist it inside, so that way the bun is not moving anywhere. You can do the same thing with the bobby pins. The bobby pins, when you use them, see this curvy thing? It goes inside. The reason, because this corner right here, it's pushing down. It's because when you open, this has to be under, and the flat part goes in the top. So you can either use the bobby pins or the flat things that I showed you before, this skinny pins. So the bun is pretty much secure. Now I'm gonna start working with covering the bun, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place this curls right over here. But first, this part. you will want to work with the curls that you already have, and every time you place, see how much did I took. So I'm gonna place it, but before I place it, I open it a little bit so you can have more coverage. And the bun. So now is when I start using Fashion Work hairspray. See how I open the curl a little bit and I spray. And the same thing happened with this guy right here. I open it a little bit. When I open it, it makes it less heavy. And that way it's gonna help me to hold more when I'm doing the hairspray. It's gonna give it to the hairstyle a little bit more texture to the style. So I'm gonna keep taking some pieces and open them a little bit and then placing the pin. I'm using this, guys, and hide it inside the bun. And you see right here how it's pretty tight. So what I do is like I pull it and I open it. If it doesn't want to open, this guy, you can use it just to place, open, and just secure it right there. And then when you hairspray that part, let's put up more. This guy is on place. You can spray a little bit more and voila. Then you can like remove, after a while you can remove the pins and you can keep working. So I have this curls right here, which I'm gonna be working with it as well. Just want to place it. I'm working around just to kind of like covering the bun. Once you have all the bun covered, you're Gucci, as Mariela says. It doesn't matter if you have like this guy, because that's gonna be giving you a little bit of volume to the hairstyle. Remember that she doesn't want to do anything tight. Spray it and keep working around. So I'm taking really small pieces because if you see in that hairstyle that I showed you before, they're like fine pieces like this. If you grab bigger pieces just to finish your work earlier, it's not gonna be the same updo. You know what I mean? See the difference between this and this? This is pretty as well, but you want to get closer to this part. So let's keep taking small pieces so that way you can see a little bit more texture. Even that small piece right there, you can open it a little bit and you can give it like a sensation that it's more fuller.
Ready.
So from these pins, they're open. They have two different sizes. They have the pretty small ones and they have the really big ones. So I normally like the big ones the best, but you will need to use the small ones sometimes. It's depending on what are you doing at a time. So right now, what I'm gonna be using is a small one, but the big ones are the best to hold these guys right here. And if you need to go deeper, these ones are the best. That's the big ones. The small ones, it's more to hold the little curls. They have they're really particular because these guys are basically invisible. They go in like this, but these guys sometimes you can get to see them and the style if you use a lot of them. So I hate when I can see the bobby pin through the hairstyle, so that's why I like to use these open ones, because they're basically invisible when you push them in. So here right here, what I'm gonna be doing is I want to attach this curl the way that you can still see in this curl, and you don't see like the really bun part right here. So you're gonna be seeing curls everywhere. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach this guy in between these two. It's attached already, and I'm gonna be using these curls just to kind of give it a sensation of fullness right here. A little bit of hairspray. Again, Fashion Work 12. This is a really light hairspray. So now you know that you need to have a bun, because that bun, it's gonna, you don't need to, it's depending on the hairstyle. She wants like really poofy right here, so I like to use a bun to give it that like volume right here. But what I do mostly is like I do a ponytail, and you can attach this curls instead of doing it in a bun. You can do it in this hair, which is tight. So that works too. See, I just pull. Don't be afraid to pull, because that's gonna give you volume to the hairstyle. If you want to separate that hair because you see that it's like too much hair in one piece, you'll want to use this type of guys right here. See, you still have a lot of hair going on here, and you have pretty much everything covered already. So what you want to do is you can work under these curls and try to hide them inside, and then pin them up here, and then you can let these curls fall on top of it. See? So what I'm gonna do is use these pins, the baby ones, and you just like push them inside just to hold that hair, and voila. If you want to, you can like step back and you can go around the girl like your client and see how it's looking already, so you can see how much volume are you making. So right here you can still see the bun, but that's okay because we still have a lot of hair going on right here that we need to push right here. So we're gonna keep working. See how much hair you see here? I don't like that, so like I kind of like push it a little bit. And try to make it pattern. Okay. So down here, it's okay if you grab a little bit more hair because you have a lot of hair going on right here. So I'm gonna be placing this hair right here. See how flat goes right here? So what I like to do is push some of these curls up. So how I do that, it's this way. Push it a little bit up, give it a little bit of volume here, and then see, you have another curl hanging. So that way I don't see this part right here super flat. So what you can do here is I can get this size and I'm gonna push it to the other side and open it a little bit, so that way it doesn't go like straight down, goes a little bit more towards everywhere, the curls. So I repeat the same with this, guys. Do the same thing right this way. So if you see that they're like really flat right over here, what you do is like you take this, guys, and you try to just pull them a little bit like this. This guys right here, down here, that doesn't matter pretty much because this here is gonna go this way. So we have pretty much the pond part covered. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna place let me see. This part is really important too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the mohawk. Let's say that she wants to have a little bit of hair in the front part. Let me see where she parts. She parts right over here, kind of a little bit. So she's gonna have a little bit of hair right here hanging. I don't like that line. So I'm just gonna push it back, and then I'm gonna take just a little bit from the sides, and I'm gonna do the mohawk. So she likes a little bit of volume. And what I'm gonna do, you see how flat it goes if I try to push it like this? I don't like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl it a little bit. I'm hot. This curled. See this right here? I don't like that either. So I'm gonna go a little bit closer to the skin. Sorry, sometimes I'm way too picky. And I do this. See how different looks? So just like flat iron a little bit here, and I give it like a really cute wave, and voila. So now I can push these guys back. You can work with your fingers, you can work with a comb. So that's how much volume you can get right over here. Important fact, you need to see if you need that much hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in half, and I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to go back like this. And then this guy, now I can push it back and hide everything back here. So what I'm going to use is this big pins, and I'm going to push this back. And I grab my fingers and I start pulling little by little, looking at the front of my bride. See how evenly it looks. Because sometimes they're picky and you can make mistakes that you can go back and fix it. So what I do here, this is the part of the hair, the ends of this hair right here. So I'm going to twist it a little bit and work with it and hide it inside the bun. Or you can push it back like this one, right here.
Can you turn it so we can see what you're doing?
Like that.
A little bit more.
More.
Yep.
Like
And
this.
that, yep.
Again, I went back and I still looking on the front of my client so I can see, that way it doesn't have like too much hair on this side and too good none hair on this side. So just keep working with it. Hide it and keep going. So you see this hair right here? You can give it a little bit of volume. Like that. And push it inside again. And wanna keep it like this. I will need the big ones. See? Spray it so that way it stays in place. So I didn't do any curls right here, but I need to do it now. I always do the curls, that's important. I always do the curls away from the face. So when they fall this way. Because if you do it under, that's not gonna look okay. Well, it never looked okay for me. That's up to you. So here she wants some pieces hanging. So I grab it from here
Yep.
and then already falls right here, we just push it back. And we use this guys again. And I open it a little bit. Keep in mind that it can look a little bit poofy right here. So if you want to add a little bit more volume right here, that's totally fine. See? That's what you want. And the same thing with this. Brush it with your fingers and just place it. See if it looks okay like that. You can work and go a little bit higher. It's up to you. I'm going to be doing this. And push it again. So you need to figure out what you're going to be doing with this guys right here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be placing this guy right here. And always pulling here, always pulling here. That way it's not way too flat. So the same thing happened with this guy. I'm just gonna hide it a little bit. Like I push under and it's going somewhere inside. So don't worry about him. It's okay right there. So with this, you can either grab big pieces like this, twist it a little bit, and pull, and then go inside and hide that hair right there. Like, place it. See? Pull a little bit. If you feel like you need one more bobby pin, you can do that. Just to secure the hair. Now then, I can keep placing the curls right here. See? Now I can remove this guy. See how it's covered? So what I want to do is I'm going to place it right over here. I'm going to spray it. And I'm going to keep working right back here. So see this curls falling? Yeah, I can push it up and then hide this guy right over here. Same thing is going to be happening in this side. So what I'm going to do is grab my curling iron and then I'm going to be curling away from her face. For this type of hairstyles, you have to be a really good patient. You need to have a patient. I mean, this is not a 5-minute, 10 minutes hairstyle. So I will recommend you to practice this hairstyle a few times before you want to do it in someone else. So what I do see right here, see that I grabbed this piece? I need to grab the same amount of hair on this side so it looks a little bit evenly. See? And then I start grabbing the hair from here and pushing it back. This guy. Okay. And a little bit of volume. So right here, I see a little bit of difference between this one and this one right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove this guys again. How I remove that hair is, you see this is the tip, this is the hair, so I just pull the hair and I can see where I place those pins, see, without messing everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit further up. A little bit more volume on this side. See how cute this curl falls? But we need to place more on this side. Place it again. And we can keep going. Same thing with this, but this part right here, you can grab bigger pieces. Then brush it with your hands, twist it a little bit, and then place them right high here, right where the bun is. So you can pull this hair and give it a little bit more volume. So when I get to the point that I'm working with the lower part of the head, part of her neck, I'm just gonna ask her to look down, because that way it's easier for us to work. So she looked down and I can have a better vision of what I'm doing right now. So see this bottom part right here, I grab everything up and I just kind of like place it and grab those pins, the magic pins, push it inside and I feel like it's secure. Release the hair, and then I keep looking down here to see if everything is secure up here. When everything is pretty much secure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a little bit of hair like this. See how much volume she had in back, and then I'm going to place these curls somewhere back here. and I work with them, and I try to make it organized and disorganized at the same time. I don't know how can I say that. She wants to see fullness and a lot of curls everywhere. So that's what I'm doing. So now that I'm here, you see how I turn to this way and I see these hairs right here. So I'm just gonna place them in, and we're almost done. I don't like these hairs right there, so I'm just gonna tweeze it a little bit. You don't need to tweeze it, you just need to work with their shape. See, rub this. And it's going inside. I can grab this guy still and go a little bit inside. See, they're high already. Or you can either do this. Looking pretty similar to the hairstyle that we saw, that we previously saw in the picture. It's not exactly the same, but it's going really similar. You just need to make sure that she's gonna look beautiful. That's it. Try to do this in your mannequin, please send me pictures. I would love to see that, because this is my first time doing like a mini class, like the Updo mini class. So that's gonna be amazing and excited for me to see if you learn something out of it. So what I do with these curls, I can leave them like that, but they're gonna go flat if our client has straight hair. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the 28 Control Addict, and let's see if you can see there. I'm going to use these two fingers to separate and hold this way. So when I hold, I'm separating the hair, but at the same time I'm not allowing the hair to move. So I'm just gonna spray it a little bit, let it air dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna release, and I'm gonna keep doing the same thing right here. As less hair you have here, let me brush it. You can brush it again. You can do the same thing. See? So I spray again. And then I release, spray it. And when it's a spray and you pull, it's gonna stay like that. I mean, this is up to you. This thing took me a while to learn how to do this, but with a lot of practice, or maybe you don't need a lot of practice, maybe you can do it right away. Okay, so this is gonna hold better than this one if you leave it like this. See how different the shape? Do it farther this way. Ask your client once you're working with the hairspray in her face to cover her face, so that way the hairspray doesn't go through her eyes. I normally cover her face like that, and by the time I'm done doing like 8 updos, my hands can't move because I have so much hairspray. Okay, so this is pretty much it. I'm gonna remove the pins. I'm gonna use the soft hairspray because I don't want to wash this curl. I don't need to use the very strong one. So here I can see one bobby pin, and I'm gonna just push it a little bit inside. So that way I can see it. This is the final result. Let me remove the mannequin head stand, and I'm going to show you. Can you, Omar, pull up the picture?
Yep, let me just get it.
This is how she looks. This is the final result. I'm pretty happy with it, and I bet she's gonna be too. Very important, get these pins because this is essential.
Okay, this is the Okay, that's it. Say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you for watching, and please send me pictures once you get your first trial, and just send it to me, and I'll be more than happy to see how much closer you can get. I know that's a lot of practice behind this, but I mean, I trust you, and you can be really talented, and you definitely can do something like this. Thank you. Bye.